Hey, I told you Yahoo's Eric Edholm put in work on his mock draft. We talked about it on Friday. This is according to NFL mock draft database. 1,375 mock drafts. Double League came in second. Nailed it. And he joins us now to recap the weekend now that it is in the books. And again, way to go. Spot on a lot of rankings and fits and range. And speaking of fits, I want to focus in on the quarterback. So eventually did go, though obviously not as early as we thought. I mean, they went later than we thought, and we knew that the league was pretty down on this quarterback class. And nonetheless, after Kenny Pickett, it took until Desmond Ridder in the second round until we heard another quarterback call. But Desmond Ridder's in Atlanta. Malik Willis is in Tennessee. Matt Corral's in Carolina. I love the value for the teams. I love the fits for the players. Because as we know, a lot of times with quarterbacks especially, it's not when you're drafted, but where you're drafted. Who has the best opportunity among these three guys to really either win the job, but not just win the starting job eventually, sooner rather than later, but succeed given the infrastructure in a place like Tennessee, for example?
Yeah, Malik's landing spot is fascinating. I mean, I had the Titans as a team that possibly could draft a quarterback, right? We saw Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs. Not so great. You sort
third
of got
round,
the
I'm
vibe.
sorry. I said second round for Desmond Ridder. No, he was the second quarterback taken. Three
Second
third round
quarterback,
quarterbacks, I beg your pardon.
right?
Yeah, beg your pardon.
And before Willis, right? I mean, I don't know that was a scenario that a lot of people foresaw. So yeah, it was really, the Titans only sent their quarterback coach to Willis's pro day. I don't think they really envisioned taking him in round one, but they did just enough background work on him so that when this fall started, they could have discussions. I think they liked Ridder too. So I mean, I think third round they were suddenly interested. And maybe, look, the guy I sort of compared him to, and Willis has no comp, is Steve McNair. A big, thick build, strong guy, strong arm, came from a atypical offense at Alcorn State. Same with Willis at Liberty, right? There's not a whole lot of translation. So I had to go way back. There just aren't a lot of guys like him. And so that, you think about, it took him a couple of years, but once he got in there, he got to that MVP level and got to a Super Bowl. And I mean, who knows, right? I think it may end in a weird sort of way, end up being a really good spot for him. I would throw Sam Howell in Washington there too. Yeah. I mean, first pick of the fifth round, that's nothing. And if you don't like him, you move on from him like any other fifth round pick. It could work out well for them too.
Well, and for those kids, there's just no pressure, right, Michael? It's just much less pressure.
That's right.
To play right away and to be
a
franchise savior.
You know what I got to say when it comes to this, I know you and others talked about this, Eric, with the quarterbacks. It could be, some guys could be overdrafted, some guys could really slide. And I'd say, based on that chart right there, the market has spoken. So, I mean, they looked at them as, a bunch of, especially the guys we talked about, maybe a bunch of second and third rounders, mostly third rounders. But I want to ask you this.
It's a blessing in disguise.
I think a great position to be in, but it's fascinating, is to be a team with a great quarterback, but you got to build receivers around them. And that's Kansas City and that's Green Bay, where Kansas City loses Tyreek and Green Bay obviously loses Devontae Adams, and now you got to recover. What did you think of the recovery efforts when it came to the draft of Kansas City and with Green Bay?
I kept telling Packers fans, I kept saying, I think it's like 50-50 that they take a wide receiver in round one. I know, the feeling was, okay, we got 22, we got 28, we got this thing. Somebody will fall to us. But Dotson went 16th or whatever it was. Burks came off the board in between the two picks. And I think they just sort of felt like, we really like Quay Walker at 22. We're behind that pick. Devontae Wyatt, they didn't expect to be there. A couple Georgia defenders. It's not what the fans wanted, but this is how they put together a board a couple years ago when they had Rashawn Gary at number 12, and everybody cried then. Guess what? He's pretty good all of a sudden. So they're not going to change their approach. I mean, they're still, free agents if they want to comb the market and say, all right, we'll go get so-and-so. And I want to warn people, like Christian Watson is a neat prospect. I mean, he's springy. He is a, off the assembly line Green Bay Packers wide receiver. That's the kind of guy they look like. How long did it take Jordy Nelson to become Rodgers' guy? What, 3-4 years? Devontae Adams, remember they wanted to run him out of town. The fans did after 2 years. So Christian Watson may be no better than their fourth receiver this year. So it's going to be Sammy Watkins and, Alan Lazard and another year of Randall Cobb and maybe Amari Rodgers. And I mean, you have to have patience there. Kansas City, I love what they did. Yeah, Sky Moore is going to help them at receiver, but really just pumping up that defense I think the dirty little secret with the Chiefs last year was that they kind of lost their edge a little bit towards the end of the year. Yeah, the Bills game was amazing, right? But there were times when they just sat back and let Pat kind of go win it, and the defense was giving up, tracks of yards. And they went out and got a lot of hungry people and let Tyrann Mathieu go. That's a pretty big statement right there. So they went against the grain, but I think it'll end up working out for both, maybe more so for Kansas City.
And I love the Justin Ross. We were talking about it earlier. Absolutely love the Justin Ross undrafted free agent signing. Given his talent, fingers crossed that he remains healthy. Yo, man, it is never too soon to look ahead to the 2023 draft. I know you're already working on it, all right? Whether it's Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Spencer Rattler, bigger and better year for quarterbacks. But I know Michael is fascinated by Jackson Smith and Jigba from his Ohio State, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Man, I'm all about Will Anderson. Like, will these quarterbacks definitely beat out Will Anderson for #1 overall pick?
Right, and Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. I mean, first of all, how does Georgia have more defensive players that could go in the top 10? I don't understand that, but amazing what they've done there.
15 picks in 7 rounds, yeah.
Total, after 6 guys on defense drafted a year ago and Jermaine Johnson transferring, it's crazy. But you're right. I mean, next year's quarterback class, at this point looks pretty exciting. C.J. Stroud, what he did last year. Now, Bryce Young, I think, is shorter than all of us. I'm pretty sure he's about 5'10", so he's not really a runner. That's going to be a hang-up for some, but throwing the ball, decisions, maturity, poise, he's got it all. Tyler Van Dyke at Miami, young guy, but he could be exciting. Anthony Richardson at Florida, what an athlete, what a player. Phil Jerkovich at BC. There's a lot of names. Last year, we kind of sort of knew the 5 or 6 names, and it was really the top 5 or 6 guys this year, minus a name or two. And it wasn't exciting then, and it didn't end up being exciting. I give the NFL teams a lot of credit for not overdrafting quarterbacks this year.
Yeah,
and I think it was because they had one eye on 2023, and this class could be really, really interesting.
And it'll just be interesting to see what changes, Eric, between now and then, because this time last year, wasn't Spencer Rattler the favorite to go #1? So a lot could change.
Rattler first, Howell second,
drafts.
right? Yeah.
Who would be one right now, real quick? Who would be one right now? If we had to call it right now in May, who's the favorite to be number 1?
I'm putting a nickel on Stroud with, what they bring back and everything. Smith and Jig was amazing. I think C.J. Stroud right now would be my favorite, but I don't want to give him the Rattler curse either.
Eric, you are our #1 pick, the total package, brother. Thank you so much. Appreciate you dropping the knowledge. Take a break, why don't you? You earned it.
All right, I'll go play with that dog. I wish he could have made an appearance here today. I'm sorry.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
See you guys.
Ronnie the dog. Thanks, Eric. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.